Chad, how's it going there? Did you get enough rain? Yeah, I mean, we could use a splash for sure. No denying that. 7/10, lucky guy. We got a couple of spits there 2 days ago, and that was it. No, last night. Yesterday. I don't know. Sunday? Sunday. So, but, you know, believe it or not, there's pretty good moisture yet. So, right, like this is the stuff I had this last fall, so it hasn't been touched, and they're just, you know, kind of seeding right into it. I think this year definitely a minimal till is better, because it's you don't want to dry things out too bad. Isn't too bad. Wish that was general CNR. Subsoil isn't too bad. We just wait to see if it can rain. Yeah, for sure. I think that's hit or miss with the old subsoil thing. When I was getting fertilizer, the guys over there were claiming they had they're dry as dry. They've been going through sloughs and stuff they haven't gone through in 20 years. But over here, like, no tricks at all. We've had mud on the tires in every single field we went to. Now, like 98-99% of the field is good. I'm not, but there's still water. In fact, the one right across the road to the north of me has a huge pool in it still. That's no good. That'll be the last one. It often is the last one we see, but I'm not going to drive around a big pool in the end of May, or the beginning of May. Drive around it near the end of May. Still there. But we could certainly use a splash, even just to get some of these fires put out and some of the smoke out of sky. pretty black. Worked it 2 weeks ago. Still lots of moisture. We had a minute ago. Yeah, you're lucky if you got that nice dark soil. This white stuff, it plays out pretty quick. You can always use the rain. I'm trying to get this thing so it doesn't shake so bad. But at least we haven't had to evacuate from the fire. The fuse, I think that was the problem. It's just a bad fuse, I guess. I'm more interested in my hydraulic oil temp situation. I'm pretty sure it's the block on the seed drill that goes from that lets you select from the fan to the auger. Pretty sure it's got to be that. But believe it or not, I phoned this morning to get the rebuild kit for it because it looks like you can just take it apart and put the O-rings in. It was leaking a little bit this morning and then it quit. They don't make a rebuild kit for it. And I said, okay, well, what do? Just throw it away or what? He said, yeah, well, we haven't sold very many, so they didn't have one. Well, that's kind of a waste because it's a big metal block. Three-way valve sort of a deal. I said, well, okay, well, I mean, I guess order me one. Where are they? How far away? Over by Napa. Oh, that's no good. They lost their house or what? That's horrible. But anyway, so my block, he goes, oh, we don't have any in our system, but there's one in Swift Current. So I thought, well, that's a long ways away. So I hummed and hawed about it, and I thought about it, and I kept doing a little more thinking. By the time I went to commit to say ship it up here, they had already sold it. Somewhere in Unity, Saskatchewan, somebody needed it. So, now we're on the list. There's no more available in Canada. We're back on the list. So we're gonna run her until she quits altogether, and then we'll take the one apart and see if I think there's probably just O-rings in it, but house is gone. Wow. That is awful. Very sad. is fighting overheating hydraulics with his tractor too. Got a new Bill, thinks he's lacking enough flow. He put a second oil cooler and an auxiliary tank on his tractor to keep it up. New Holland like Jeremy. Yeah, some of those, like for instance this drill, and I guess the rule of thumb is like 10 gallons. So the shanks need 10 gallons, the fan needs 10 gallons, the variable rate motors need 10 gallons. And I mean, I don't know what the supply system pressure is. I don't know that. I don't think that takes it. But so right there, you're around 30 gallons just for your seating equipment. Then your whatever your tractor needs for itself, for the steering and everything. And a tractor like this T9, it's only got a 57 gallon a minute pump in it. So that's when they say they got 114 or whatever, they just put 2 pumps on. You have two 57 gallon pumps. But I was wondering that off the start too, if maybe we just didn't have enough flow. But like this tractor's a 2013 with, it's got 2,300 hours on it. So I mean the pump should still be good. And the fact that my TJ heated up too made me think it's not the tractor, right? Because both, he's running, he thinks his is 50 gallons. I'd be surprised. I don't know exactly what those Fords had, but I think, I mean, unless the pump was upgraded, I doubt it came standard with 50 gallons. It's probably like, it's probably 40 or something. I mean, it's easily findable on that tractor data website. They usually have a pretty good range of what your tractor has, if it's stock. See, because even before about 2005, lots of tractors, you know, the 2005s only had 40 gallon pumps, from what I understand. So when people started getting these precision drills, most people had to upgrade their tractor too. They had enough horsepower, but they didn't have enough hydraulics. I mean, that's actually what happened to the guy I bought this drill from. When he bought this drill, I don't even know what he was running for a tractor, but he had to go out and buy a tractor to run it. So I know the next tractor that I get's going to have twin pumps, because the stuff isn't getting any smaller. I expect the next drill I buy will probably be 70 feet. Because covering 2,000 plus 3,000 acres with a 50-foot drill is it's getting to be fairly time-consuming too. Of course, a year like this, you could farm with a 10-foot drill. It looks like we're going to have the whole entire month of May to seed. No rain. Plus we got, you know, we could have been in April yet. I think there's guys around here that are already done. I was talking to the huts when I went to get fertilizer on Saturday, and they already had 8,000 acres in around here. Only had about 4,000 more to go. They're tough to talk to. You just hang your head and you're like, wow. You just want to tell them where your land is and say, come farm and send me a bill. Just custom seeded for me. Ran his other seed hawk good, but upgraded to this newer seed hawk with a bigger John Deere cart, same size toolbar, but his other tank was a flexi coil. Maybe it's just the John Deere tank. Well, when I hopped on the internet yesterday or the day before and just typed in hydraulics heating up on the air drill, there's quite a few articles about John Deere tanks specifically. So, which is weird because I think the older tanks had more of like an accumulator system on them, where they didn't need that constant flow. I might not have that right. I didn't do a whole bunch of research, but I'm talking like the early 2000s. Like I think this tank is about a 2008. I thought it was a 2010, but I think it might be a little older than that. Or what? I thought it was a 20. I don't know. Maybe whatever. I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know how to tell, to be honest with you. I don't think they stand the date. I should check the tag tomorrow. Well, it very well could be. I mean, and I wish them all the best. Trying to track this shit down and chase it down, and it's overwhelming. But I myself am pretty convinced it's the, you never got any rain? Oh, we didn't, Mr. BP. I never sent you your cup either. That got away from me. I'll put that in the mail. How you guys doing down there? Things got away from me. I didn't get around to it. He's one frustrating guy. Makes me glad. My box drills, if I had more to do, I'd just buy a second drill. You know, it's funny, like, my dad and I were talking about that too. When we had a triple set of 14-foot 7200s, and we had a double set of 14-foot 7200s. So we actually had, what is that? That's 42 feet, and then another, that's 60 feet of drill, of box drills, before we got our 40-foot flexi coil. You could cover some ground with that too. Like, the only problem we got was switching fields and stuff, having to unhook and hook up to the end, and then, but you know, even filling them, everybody was always, you know, oh, they don't hold nothing and blah, blah, blah. Well, if you had a good drill fill on your truck, you could keep things going too. We could use a rain to kick-start things going. Started fixing on the Versatile 2200 box drills. Yeah, I think, well, I know the whole Peace Country could use a nice general rain. Well, even if it shut a guy out of the field for a few days, I don't think anybody would care. Most people are far enough along anyways. I've got 1,400 in now of 2,400, so only 1,000 more to go. Yeah, that's just it. If you get things set up, you know, you can get a lot done with box drills. Even my old flexi coil, we were just talking at the at the fertilizer plant about productivity and how much a guy can do. And it was quite a few years ago. I was definitely a little younger, but I did 300 acres of peas in one day with that. Like, you need way less fertilizer and stuff, but that was only a 2320 tank, so a 230 bushel tank. And seeding 3 bushels of peas and putting down, we put 60 pounds of phos down with our peas that year. So it wasn't that it was no filling, it was just a little less, and it got done too. I'll admit I haven't been putting in the hours here. Definitely haven't been putting in the hours. But same with the fall that we just had. Like, if every year was like that, everybody would have stayed home and farmed. No grain drying, and you didn't have to work till 2 in the morning to try to beat the snow and rain and breakdowns and all that other stuff. So when you get a year like that, you gotta take it. Rejuvenates your love of farming. And it's not just a fight all of the time. I can tell you one thing though, I absolutely hate this GPS system in this tractor. Like, it is a brutal piece of shit. Yeah, that was definitely one for the old boys to see before they retire completely and don't go back to the field. Because that probably won't ever happen again. Although with the climate change and everything, maybe that's the new thing. And I'd be okay with that. Still got snowbanks, eh? Wow. You're running 2020 GPS? This one is, I don't know, it must not be, the software must be wrong, because I've calibrated it and I've done all sorts of things, and it's wide sometimes and it's not wide other times, and real pain in the butt. In fact, this time I gotta make a little loop and go back and get a little bit that I didn't get. I don't worry so much when I see canola, especially with this 12-inch spacing now, because if you miss 12 inches, it looks like you didn't miss anyways, and then and then the canola, it branches out anyways, so you don't ever have that long row down the middle of the field like an idiot. But I'm going to have those this year, I guarantee it. I was just about pulling my friggin' hair out yesterday or the day before. Between the beeping in the cab of all the monitors and all of the friggin' alarms from Alberta, the emergency things, I just about couldn't take it. Like, that was unbelievable. Beep, 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 beep. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the situation isn't good, but getting an update every 5 minutes that there's a fire burning, I was getting a little out of hand. almost gonna have to find some lights here soon. I wasn't gonna work a whole bunch in the dark this year. See that? I don't even know how to adjust this piece of shit either. It doesn't give the drill long enough to even turn on before it starts to tell you that it's not seating at the right rate. Like that's what she said. She missed 12 inches. Yeah. My unit is 8-inch spacing. Had a buddy convert his drill down to 8-inch. You know, like my old man, he's like, he thinks you should seat solid, like 1-inch spacing. But after we bought this drill, now, you know, there's a little more to it, right? It's a precision drill and openers and blah, blah, blah. But we've banged out some pretty crops the last couple of years, even in the drought. And I was doing a bit more research. People claim they're having really good luck even seeding peas at 12 inches. So to me, that seems just nuts. But I'm going to do it this year. So there's a good article in it was in an old newspaper, and it was 12 ways to fail at farming. And the one was always do what your parents did. And you know, like never be willing to change anything. And I think that's probably fairly accurate. Now, of course, that you don't have to go full steam into new technology and everything, but let's see if the lights make a difference. You definitely got to be open to trying some new things. I wouldn't have minded if this thing had those, if it had a pair grow option. So, you know, it was say 12-inch spacing with 2 or 3-inch pair grow. Then you kind of get down to 10. But apparently there are some kits for it. But the fact that the packing wheel follows behind, you have to change that too. And well, let's be honest, I'm lazy, so if I don't have to climb around under 50 shanks and try to loosen bolts and put in spacers, I'll sit on the couch all day long over that. Yeah. Well, I was looking we got a field out west there, and a half a mile south, and then further to that, or further than that, is a pretty big, like, I don't know if it's a grazing lease, a private one, or a public one, or whatever. But I was looking up on the hillside, and it is just yellow, like totally dead, which is bizarre because everything else is green. And I think, like, I don't know, unless we get some really good rains, there's going to be a lot of hungry cows, because that's never been really, you know, looked after. Like, it's too open. It's never been plowed back or reseeded, not as long as I've been paying attention anyway, so say 25 years. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. I know that the Seedhawk has the thing, and because Seedmaster and Seedhawk are pretty much identical, I expect that it's probably an option for this too. But, you know, on the other hand, we've been pulling down some pretty decent crops, so I don't know if it's worthwhile changing until we don't get a really good crop again, which, I mean, that could be this year if it doesn't rain. But then I don't think paired row openers are going to fix the problem either. With all the manure we've put down over the last couple of years, also clover last year. I don't think we need it. No, you definitely might not, but that's you manage your land a little different than some people that rent. There's some guys up our way that are like, set it and forget it. It is what it is. Run her that way for 30, 40 years, and then they wonder why they don't get 5, 6, 7 bales an acre in a dry year. They get like an eighth of a bale an acre. And some guys with newer seeded ground, where it was not good. The drought affected them too, but they got a bale or two or a bale and a half at least. So it is important to be a steward of the land. That's the other thing, that end of the field beeping, I tried to shut that off. You can't shut it off. It won't let you. Like, what an insane world. A lot of my fertilizer comes from the mill. They apply biosolids on my wore-out pasture hay. Gives us lots of phosphate nitrogen, good for 4 years. Lucky guy. I wish we had some options like that around here. I will be spraying, but I don't got the bin space for the big oat and barley crop. If you got the ground, you got the space, my friend. You just pile her up on the ground. One year we had a heck of a crop of barley. We had like 40,000 bushels on the ground. All made malt that year too. Because one of my dad's friends, he come over and he was like, "Geez, what are you guys gonna do with all that?" He just laughed. He said, "Well, we're gonna sell it." But we set up a couple of those 10,000 bushel quick bins. But we actually found just laying power poles down just to stop the grain from spreading out was better, because we cleaned it up with a grain vac, and if you had the power poles, you could get to it right away. You could just keep moving the grain vac closer and closer and closer, and then life was good. That's all we did. Yeah, and then it was square too, so that silage plastic actually worked. You do a little quick math and figure out about how high your pile needs to be and how wide, and then lay your power poles down. We've just to stop it, and yeah, you can stack quite a bit of grain on the ground. Lay that tarp over top, and then buy a big bag to put the money in. I found any like bales or quick bins or any kind of temporary but more permanent-ish outside storage pales in comparison to a few power poles. Yeah, I was on TikTok. I got kind of hooked up with a saddle maker. He was watching one of the lives that I did, and then I was watching his. Awesome guy. He's down from like Morinville, just north of Edmonton. And he runs cow-calf pairs out on his place. And he was wondering about grain farming and startup costs. So just for the heck of it, him and I, Brendan, you got to find yourself a 9600 or 9610 with about like 4,000 hours on it. Be about 20 grand. That would be all the combine you would ever. Those are the best combines ever built. I almost guarantee that, especially for a cowboy, because they leave such a nice windrow of straw. Easy to set, easy to fix, decent capacity. Headers are like, you get yourself a straight cut header for $5,000. That's what I'm also looking for, trying to find another one of those 9610. But anyways, the saddle maker, we had it all figured out that he could start farming with basically no money down. He could start farming 2,000 acres, and he wouldn't need very much. Because one of his things was, well, where am I going to put the grain? And I said, well, depends on if you want to keep it and then actually kind of do a bit of backgrounding or actually feeding of the animals, then you keep as much as you need and just pile it on the ground if it's going for feed anyways. I mean, everybody should have a high spot. They also leave a nice green line behind them. Yeah, the 9610 doesn't leave as nice a line as the 9750, I can tell you that. But you will, that's one thing you'll never hear me defend is a fucking John Deere combine. Unless it gets down to service. That's the only reason we have John Deere combines. I think that probably New Holland has some of the best technology. It's just there's almost no service up here for them. At least not in our experience. Lots of guys do run them, and they somehow get their crops off. But I know if I had one, the piece of shit would be broke down all the time, and I would be waiting on the only part that's not available in Canada for 6 weeks, and I only got 3 weeks to take the crop off. So not an option. Where at least John, and actually, yeah, the hut I was talking to, he said that too. He said that's why they run John Deere. He said they just can't put that much faith in the other dealers. But I would love to, like down your way, you guys probably have huge like New Holland dealers and stuff. You guys have huge everything. Up here we got nothing. It's a kick in the face. That's what we get. Prairie Coast. And Prairie Coast they do a damn good job. Can't knock them. I mean, the equipment might not be all that great, but their service is top notch. I mean, they'll have you running, or at the worst case scenario, they have the inventory and the ability to get you going again. Even if they got to send you out a loaner for a week or something. So they've always treated us very well. But no, as far as nope, that John Deere is good. It's just got to go slow. We're overpowered. Service is a big part of farming. The Prairie Coast is good at bringing in parts. But the green haying equipment can kiss my ass. I'm done with it. Well, yeah, fucking thing. Oh, look at that. Now it's 4.2. This is also why I think it's that block, because the block drives these meters. I only want to seed about 3.8 pounds. And if I don't pay attention, it seems like every once in a while it gives up and it starts to Awesome. Starts to seed a little bit differently, and it only changes that canola rate. It doesn't change the other one, so I don't know. I'm not gonna stress about it. They said you could cut your seeding rates way back with a precision drill, so I drew some lines in the bottom of my tank. 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, and I just threw 5 more in. But I seeded 80 acres, and I used like a little over 7.5 bags, or I seeded, sorry, not 80, 74 acres. And I used just over 7.5 bags, so it is seeding right, even though it's jumping all over the place. My new baler is sitting at the dealer yet, waiting on my new tractor yet. Well, boys, friggin' phone is gonna die. Good night. Stay safe. Hopefully rain soon. Yeah, we'll see you later there, BP. Gonna rake. Tomorrow was supposed to be here last month. Yeah, I don't know about all this waiting on shit, new stuff, old shit parts, machinery. It's just crazy. You'll just be lucky to even get one, probably. Kind of why guys just got to keep running, because you never know what's going to happen, what's going to break and need to be replaced. And what used to be a run to town and get the part now is a 5-week wait. Also seems like I'm going so fast. I don't like that. Shut her down here soon too. I gotta take our equipment back to the yard every single night. The friggin' thieving has started again. Just garbage. Absolute garbage. My wife was saying just when I was having supper, that somebody put on Facebook or whatever, just east of town there, that they got their truck stolen right out of the field. It's brutal, like, I mean, they're thieves, so they don't give a shit, but that's quite devastating when they steal your, like, all your tools and your fuel, and, like, when they stole the truck out of the field when I was seeding, like, that's 6 years ago now, like, I even told the cop, I said, it's not even the truck, I need the stuff that was in it. Had the rollers and the manual, and it had like some parts for my drill that I was going to put on, and then bam, it's all gone. So then you're back to waiting, right? I mean, waiting, just get your part, and then your truck gets stolen, and you got to wait another week or two. It's garbage. That's why we kept our flexi coil. I was going to sell it. I was going to sell it last year. But when this drill was down for like whatever it was, basically 3 days, we put in 500 acres with that other one, I think. So, kind of saved our bacon. We just did all the bushings and stuff in it, so it's just parked right now. We don't really have the. It's kind of frustrating that it's parked, but we don't have the manpower to run it. Gee whiz, like just me and my dad, my mom and my wife. So three kids. So somebody needs to tend to the 3 kids all day, and somebody needs to do the little bit of disking up the ruts and running around, and somebody's got to go get fertilizer and seed and fuel. Can't be running 2 drills. Maybe someday. thieves. Here the cops were running around last fall taking the keys and leaving. Had to go down and get the keys. Yeah, I know where you are labor-wise, same boat, but the boy's getting older, should know soon. He's gonna farm. Yeah, it's just, I mean, this doesn't seem like the shit can get big enough, eh? Like, the first year we bought this 50-foot drill, I mean, yeah, I just put in the whole crop in no time, and then this year it just seems like it's just not getting enough done. Of course, the other thing, we're putting it all on dry, so. Oh, Leo, how you doing? Oh, I still got to get you your cup too. I'll have to get back down that way. I might go to Calgary in June. I might have to stop by, bring you your cup. But oh my, oh my. Yeah, that's it, right? I mean, the old boy there, he knocked on 70's door there a little bit ago, so he's also, although I gotta hand it to him, like, you'll see in the YouTube video, but there was 2 friggin' hydraulic lines. I think they're for the GPS, maybe, down under the hood, but under the cab down there. So they run from just under the cab all the way down to the bottom of the frame, and they had been touching, so they rubbed a hole in each other, and they were just pissing out fluid. I only noticed today when I stopped to fuel up, there was a little puddle of oil. So, but he threw his coveralls on and climbed under there. He originally was going to climb up top here, but he said, like, yeah, that's a lot of climbing for an old man. So you climb up there, and I'll go lay on the ground underneath and tell you which hose it is. So we got that fixed. That took a couple hours today. Thankfully, the shop in town had the fittings and the hose. I think I'm going to peace out here, boys. I'm in closer to that bluff of trees, and I don't want to crash into it. So we will chat with y'all later. We have put down Trefland, Sean. You just made it. We definitely have. We put it on with our, we seeded peas that year. So we did peas and canola through the big tanks on the drill, and we put Trefland we broadcast it on. It worked awesome. You just need a lot of that shit, like, to put it on right. I'm pretty sure there was like bags and bags and bags. But yeah, no problem. I was just kind of goofing off tonight here when I fired up this live. This field is right close to that big tower right there. Oh, you probably can't see it, but it's over there. It's usually have the best service, so. But yeah, we definitely have put Trefland down. But I should pay more attention to the screens than the YouTube. So I will chat with you guys all later.